This is my NXT review of the 5th February 2025 edition. As an episode, this was a very weird episode. I think the notable thing that happened was that Fandango returned, but as his TNA character JDC, where he confronted Lexis King, who had an awful promo. Like, what he said in the promo was pretty basic, but it went on for too long. And the crowd were chanting things which were related to him, but it still took took the TV audience out of the segment. And that was the case with the crowd throughout a lot of things in the night. Like even during the women's segment, Roxanne, Bailey, and Julia segment, they were chanting things or just buzzing which were related to them, but it still took me out of the show. This was a very weird show. Like I didn't dislike the Ridge Holland versus Stax match. It was a perfectly normal match. Went fast. Like it had, Izzy Dame tried to interfere. It didn't work. Ridge Holland won the match, and there is a steel cage match happening next week because Ridge was like, I have not gotten a real opportunity. Tony was like, I don't need my family to win, and they're showing that there are dissensions between the Tony D'Angelo family. Like earlier, before the match, also it was like Stax was joking and all, but he was like, go and win the match. And the Sean Spears creepy ass faction were watching them in the match and after the match also. Rich had to point that out also. I think the next feud is probably um, Tony D'Angelo and Sean Spears. Then you also had things like, oh, where do you like one thing that was good was that Yoshi Inamura and Josh Briggs, they're cute as a tag team. Like they wanted a tag match, and so Ava was like, you go and find a tag team and I'll give you that match. So they went and they talked to Hank and Tank, and Hank and Tank agreed. But when they went back to Ava, Inamura had also talked to NQCC. I hope that they had filmed that segment. It would have been funny. Of course, it would have been, Asian man can't speak English funny, but it would still have been funny. So, we're getting a triple threat tag match next week with NQCC, Josh Briggs and Inamura, and Hank and Tank. It's it's essentially a number one contenders for the tag team championship. I don't think it was Ava. I think yeah, I'm forgetting. It was not Ava which they wanted to have a tag match. Fraxium told them to first have a match and then talk to us because they also mentioned that they're defending their tag titles against Nick Nemeth and his brother at this Friday's episode of TNA Impact. You also had like, Fandango also said some such shit like I want to put my lips around this cup, and I was like, pause. What? The thing is, in ring action wise, I think my best match of the night was the main event, 8 Down Under versus Opa and Trick Williams. The Bailey, Julia, and Roxanne segment was also pretty weird. Like first, it was just Julia and Roxanne coming to the ring. Oh, I have made my entrance, so I have to stand there and wait for you. I have made my entrance also, but then Roxanne interrupted that. She said that I was an Iron Woman. That I realized that I don't want to become like my role models because they just stand in my way because they are scared that I will beat their achievements, and that Roxanne was like, "You're not here to, help me develop. You're here to take the NXT Women's Championship." Bailey was like, "Shut up! Like, I want you to, break my records. That I, I am actually an NXT original. I built one of the first rings in NXT." And then Julia came out. Julia was like, that Roxanne, you go off you are nothing without a title, which kind of was the point with Bailey also brought up that you went off the deep end. You had another signs of dissension between Cora and Roxanne because Roxanne stated that she has no friends when it comes to the title, and maybe where if I win all the titles on the main roster, maybe if I vacate the NXT title, maybe Cora will win a title too. Julia said that she will beat both Bailey and Roxanne. I think she wanted to really point out the thing that one of them will survive the beautiful madness. It didn't come off as well because her English is not there. So when Charlotte came out with her trash ass EDM music with "Oh Hey the Queen," fucking awful theme song. She said that you are the she they have either they have pivoted or this was the clear sign. Like she was like a pure heel here like 90% of the time, and she essentially said, Roxanne, you are a runner up, and if you win the NXT Women's Championship by WrestleMania season, you will be a runner up again. I respect you, Julia, everything. She did really talk about, she had like one line about Bailey which I didn't get what she was trying to say. Bailey did like the four horsewomen sign, and the promo ended abruptly. It felt like there were things left to say. Maybe they were on time constraints, or maybe it just felt weird to me. Maybe I was not that into the show. And then just ended. Like the opening match, like it was like I think it was commercial free for at least like an half an hour because the first match happened like Stephanie Walker versus JC Jane, JC Jane Hari, and also like Booker T is off a bean when he does these shows. Also, the crowd, Booker T was saying like, "Go to sleep, kids. Like it's about to get spicy." JC Jane was in the ring. Like even Corey was like, "What do you mean by that?" And when Stephanie Walker was doing the skull fucking thing, and Booker T just went like, "Oh, oh, oh, yeah." What the Stephanie won in the end, and essentially it is Fallon is going to face Stephanie at NXT's Vengeance Day. And also, what happened was that there was a backstage segment when she was in the NXT parking lot. I was like, she's going to get attacked for sure, but she didn't get attacked. What we saw was Lola Weiss walking from her side, like maybe it's a sign of her first feud after winning the championship. Maybe Lola Weiss goes after her. I think that's what's going to happen. That happened. Stephanie was like, I'll see you in hell to Fallon Henley. Yeah, she's taking the title of Fallon Henley. You also had, Zarya and Sol Ruka. I think she's in tag team purgatory right now because I think the original plan was to have Zarya take the championship from Henley because she debuted by attacking Fatal Influence. I hope that after Fatal Influence's thing with Stephanie Walker ends, maybe they feud with Zarya and Sol Ruka. Then maybe you can get like a non-title women's feud between them, and you can have Zarya go over Fallon Henley. I think the original plan was probably for Julia to win the NXT Women's Championship, then for Stephanie Walker to win it from her. Maybe they think that the like this is the time to strike the iron. Like Stephanie was mad over with this crowd. Like she was very very. I think this was the most crowd reaction I have seen Stephanie Walker get, and you can see that they probably thought that this is the time to strike when the iron is hot, and they're going to make her the NXT North American Women's Champion. And also because there was a confrontation that happened where it was Zarya and Sol Ruka confronted Lash Legend that they lost their match, and Gigi Dolan and her team like came to defend, and they were like, at least they stepped up. And but like Lash and Jakara are heels, like why are you stepping up for them? Okay, I get it because they represented NXT. And it was said the match was actually fine, like they worked good as a tag team, and it shows that you don't really need much to for Zarya to get over. Like she is a unique looking beefy woman, and she does power moves. Like that's enough for her to get over. Even Soul Ruka, like she has like from Hawaii or something, and she does the dance and she has good moves in the ring, and she gets over. And that's that you need. I just think that this tag team is kind of like the thing that they had to do because they saw that first like Sol Ruka is a dependable player. She's kind of over with the crowd also. And Zarya, we have to like have her in something. So they did this for Zarya. So okay, they won the match. You also had, Carmen Petrovic versus the former NXT Women's North American Champion. I really like that her problem with essentially was that she didn't have good promo skills. Our former North American Women's Champion, but since she has shown more of a heelish side or more of, you can say, an aggressive babyface side, I think she has that down now. And if she keeps this character up in the main roster, she'll go really like some of the moves that she did, like Wendy Sinclair did in this match. Like it was something, man. Like that back slew soup. Like she won with the sleeper, but referee reversed his decision because she continued to beat her up after the match, which doesn't make sense at all. Which rule book did did the referee read to come to that decision? It just happened. Jada was out there too. Okay. So I think first of all they are also setting up that Carmen is getting her win, so that maybe like you can get like Stephanie to get like a TV defense against Carmen Petrovic. I think that can be good. And I'm liking that they're finally building up Carmen. Like Carmen is a good wrestler in the ring. She has like a good like Kill Bill type gimmick. If you like just have Ashante as her manager instead of doing all this Snow Bunny mind control stuff, I think that they will go fine. I think I really like Trick's new character, that he's aggressive, that he wants to beat A Town Down Under. A Town Down Under essentially before the entrance had their usual shenanigans like, I want to be an XC champ. Oh, you want to be? Like, I want to be, and everything. That happened. Like, Trick was like, okay, I'll make sure A Town Down Under goes under today. And I just didn't like that Trick Williams had his glasses in the entrance and he was about to do the whoop rat trick. That moment was good when Oba came out. People did the dueling chants, but I didn't like that Trick Williams wearing uh, the glasses and everything. You also had, I think this show felt long for me. Like when it was like 7:30, like when the 1 mark happened, I was exhausted. Like this show is long, man. I may have forgot also a lot of things that happened on this show. But this show was like weird. Like I never expected that the TNA NXT partnership will lead to, Fandango or JDC versus Tony D'Angelo. I hope that Tony D'Angelo after the JDC versus Lexus King. I just hope that Tony D'Angelo after his Ridge Holland feud can maybe get Mustafa Ali from TNA, because Mustafa Ali didn't actually get his NXT North American title shot. So I hope he gets that. Overall, I'll say the crowd was very weird. Like they took me out of the show many times. I really liked the commentary when the Carmen versus Wendy Sinclair match was going on, and like Corey and Booker T were really like, because they're goons essentially. Like they were gooning in front of Jada. What? Like Vic Joseph said that, you like Jada is standing in front of an announce table. Of course, you both like it, huh? I was like, what? Why snitching, man? And she was like, yeah, she's just snitching Joseph. Also, like Booker T called Corey Graves like, hey, thank you, Gravy. Like it was kind of like in a condescending way. Corey Graves also like he sounded happy on commentary today. I like that. Like he was like, Vic Joseph mentioned that he won the tag titles, and I was like, he's like, the one good thing that I did. I think main event was really good. In the end, I didn't expect it. It was surprise ending that Eddie Thorpe came out, attacked Trick from the back, and Grayson Waller and Theory got the win. And Oba was essentially, I don't care. Like he went away. But essentially, I think it is setting up an Eddie Thorpe versus Trick Williams strap match. Is it happening at Vengeance Day? Like that depends. Like I think he's not like a booker who will just book like 5 matches. I think we'll get 2 more matches added. We'll probably get the like the Josh Briggs and Inamura versus Fraxium added there, and we'll probably get um, this Eddie Thorpe versus Trick Williams strap match added. Like, I don't think that Tony D'Angelo is defending his title at NXT Vengeance Day because he's defending his title next week, which is really a shame that they have really not done anything with Tony D'Angelo saying. I just hope that they can get some NXT guys, they can get a rub in. Like, Tony D'Angelo has held the title for a while and he has not done anything with it. And it's not his fault, it's their fault. Like, Tony D'Angelo, the way he sells emotion, the way he sold emotion when Rich said that, yeah, you can beat me without your family. Like, it showed that he has something in him that can work going further also. So let's see what happens next week. And and also that Cora attacked all of them. Like, she was about to swing on Roxanne too. Roxanne ducked and went out of the ring. She beat up Bailey and Julia. She beat up Bailey some more after her music also started playing. She held up the NXT Women's Championship. Like I'm saying, I don't think Cora gets added. Like, next week it's Bailey versus Cora because that was also funny because Ava was talking to Fraxium and Bailey just came in. I want that bitch in a match next week, and Ava was like, "Which one?" Which was really funny. She was like, "Cora, add her in the match as a fatal four." I was like, "No, no, no, please don't do that. Like, that will get too convoluted." But no, she's getting Cora next week. I think what's probably gonna happen is we're gonna see Roxanne try to mend fences with Cora trying to come out next week, but and then Julia will come out to be on Bailey's side, but that will distract Roxanne and Bailey will win, which will further dissension. And I think in the Bailey Roxanne Julia match, Cora will probably play a big role there to ensure that Roxanne doesn't win and then Julia wins, and then maybe we'll have like a Julia Cora match or maybe a Julia Roxanne 3 last match, some way. Like, you can replace Cora or Roxanne interfering in either of those matches, and then we get Roxanne versus Cora probably at stand and deliver. Probably a stand and deliver, I think. Or maybe we get like a triple threat, like Julia, Roxanne, and Cora at stand and deliver. Like, I think that's the plan. So that was it. A pretty weird episode of NXT. But if you like this type of content, like this video, share and subscribe. If you don't, share it for those who do. My Instagram, my Twitter links are in the description. Go follow me on those platforms. My UPI ID Sharper that OKICICI is in the description also. uh, Please donate any amount of money which you can so that it can help me make YouTube a permanent career option. Many of you who watch these videos are not subscribed, so go subscribe and turn on the notifications. So that was it for me today. So thank you. Goodbye. Alvida.